Hello guys, my name is Prince and this is Math Center. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Post your comments and questions on my social media handles and I'll respond to it. We are on the topic approximations and this is the last video on approximations. Let's begin with rounding numbers to the nearest tenth, hundredth, thousandth, etc. For any number with a decimal part, the first decimal place is the tenth, the second decimal place is the hundredth, the third decimal place is the thousandth, etc. That is, rounding a number to the nearest tenth is the same as correcting the number to one decimal place. Also, rounding a number to the nearest hundredth is the same as correcting the number to two decimal places, and so on. So, it is that simple. If you are told to round a number to the nearest tenth, all we need to do is to correct the number to one decimal place. To the nearest hundredth, correct it to two decimal places. To the nearest thousandth, correct it to three decimal places. To the nearest 10,000, correct it to four decimal places, and the order goes on. So let's take a question. Round 15.289576 to the nearest I, tenth, II, hundredth, III, thousand, IV, 10,000, V, 100,000. So what you actually have to do is to round the number to I, one decimal place, II, two decimal places, III, three decimal places, IV, four decimal places, and V, five decimal places. So we begin by rounding the number to the nearest tenth or rounding it to one decimal place. We learned that if you are to round a number to a given decimal place, our focus is on the numbers after the decimal place, not the numbers before the decimal place. So here the number before the decimal place, which is 15, will come. So you write 15 point. The number in the position of the first decimal place or the tenth is 2. Then we look at the number after 2. The number after 2 is 8. We said that if that number is more than 5, that is 5 or above, we are going to add 1 to the number in question. The number in question here is 2. So if you add 1 to it, you are going to get 3. So when you round this to the nearest tenth, you are going to get 15.3. We are rounding it to the nearest hundredth, which is the same as rounding it to two decimal places. So here, if you are rounding it to two decimal places, you look at the number in the position of the hundredth or two decimal place. That number is 8. The number after it is 9. Now, because it is 5 or above, we are going to add 1 to the 8 to make it 9. So we have 15.29. We are also running to the nearest thousand, which is the same as to 3 decimal places. The number in that position is 9. You look at the number in front of it. The number in front of it is 5, which means that we are supposed to add 1 to the 9. But just as we saw in the previous video, when we add 1 to the 9, we are going to get 10. When that happens, we are going to carry 1 forward to the next number. So here, when you add 1 to 9, we are going to get 10. You write 0, then you carry the 1 forward and you bring it to 8. When you add that 1 to 8, you are going to get 9. So actually, when you round this to 3 decimal places or to the nearest thousand, we are going to get 15.290, because here becomes 0, you bring the 1 to the 8, you add it to it and becomes 9. So 15.290. Now we are rounding to the nearest 10,000, which is 4 decimal places. So you look at the number in that position. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That number is 5. The number in front of it is 7. So it's 5 or above. We are going to add 1 to the 5. So when you add 1 to the 5, we are going to get 6. After that, you ignore what is left. Then the number, we are running it to the nearest 100,000, which in this case will be 5 decimal places. So you count the decimal place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The number in that position is 7. The number after 7 is 6. It is 5. It qualifies as 5 or above. So you are going to add 1 to the 7 to make it 8. Then you ignore what is left. Remember that in the previous video, we learned how to use our calculator to round numbers to a given decimal place. So I recommend that you use a calculator to try these examples and see, so that you become conversant with it. Let's look at the next thing that we want to consider: approximating decimals to a given significant figure. Now, how are we going to do that? The first non-zero number counting from left to right in a number is the first significant figure in that number. The number after that is the second significant figure. The next is the third significant figure. So this is what we mean when we have a number like this. So let's take this example: 0.008517. We are saying that if you are counting from left to right, so this is the number we are talking about. Now we are counting from left to right. If you are counting from left to right, then the first non-zero number is the first significant figure. That is the first number that you meet which is not zero. That is the first significant figure. So here, if you are counting from left to right, you see that the first value is 0. After the decimal point, the next one is also 0. The next one is also 0. So all these values are not significant. Now the first significant figure in this value is 8. That is the first non-zero number that we meet. Now, how do we correct this number to one significant figure? Let's look at it. If you are to correct 0.08517 to one significant figure, what you need to do is to locate the first significant figure. The first significant figure is 8. Now, what is the number after that? If the number after it is 5 or above, you are going to add 1 to the number in the position you are talking about. Right now, the number in the position you are talking about is 8. So if you add 1 to 8, you are going to get 9. Then you ignore the rest. So if you are correcting this to the first significant figure, look for the first to one significant figure. Look for the first significant figure in the question. The first significant figure is 8. The number after it is 5. So we add 1 to the 8, then we ignore the rest. Let's take the next question. You are supposed to correct 14.083 to 3 significant figures. So look for the third significant figure. In this case, the third significant figure is going to be this. Now, we are moving from left to right. The first value we encounter is 1. So that will be our first significant figure. Remember, we said the first significant figure is the first non-zero number that you meet when you are counting from left to right. So here, 1 will be our first significant figure. 4 will be our second significant figure. So our third significant figure will become 0. Now, if the 0 was in front of the number, then it's not be significant. But immediately it comes after the first significant figure. 0 now becomes a very significant figure. So our significant figure, third significant figure we are talking about here will be 0. The number in front of 0 is 8. It is 5 or above. So we add 1 to 0, we are going to get 1. So here you have 14.1 as 3 significant figures. So when we come here, you have to correct this to 2 significant figures. So you look for the first non-zero number. The first number is 0, so that is not the first significant figure. Then you look for the second significant figure. So in this number, the first significant figure will be 3. The second significant figure will be 6. The number in front of 6 is 7. So it means that you are going to add 1 to 6 to make it 7. Then you ignore the rest. So 0.37. So you can see from here that in this number there are only 2 significant figures. In the first one, he said we should correct it to 1 significant figure. So you see in the number there's only 1 significant figure. When you come to the second one, there are 3 significant figures, and the third one here there are 2 significant figures. Now we are supposed to correct the number 398640 to 4 significant figures. We are correcting this number to 4 significant figures. So we look for the 4th significant figure. So in this number here, the first one is 3. So it means that we have our first significant figure from the beginning. So we look for the 4th significant figure. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th significant figure in this number is 6. So we look at the number in front of it. Now the number in front of it is 4. It is less than 5, so it means that we are not going to add 1 to the 6. But we can see from here that there are 4 and 0. These 4 and 0, since it is a whole number, you can see from the previous one that the one that we are having, the one that we have already done, we have decimal places in it. But if you have a whole number here, you have to add zeros to make up for the place values that are in the number. So here, even though the fourth significant figure is 6 and the number in front of it is 4, so we are not going to add 1 to it. You write our first four significant figures here, but you can see that we already have 4 and 0 here. You use zeros to represent those ones to make up for the place values that were there. Let's take an example for a whole number. You are supposed to correct the number 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 6, 3 to 5 significant figures. So look for the 5th significant figure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, the 5th significant figure is 8. The number after that is 9. So you are going to add 1 to the 8. When you add 1 to the 8, you are going to get 9. So you have 1, 4, 5, 7, 9. Now there will be 3 remaining digits. Since it is a whole number, we add 3 zeros to make up for the place values that used to be there. Then we have this number here, 0.0059987. We are supposed to correct this to 2 significant figures. So look for the 2nd significant figure. So counting from left, remember that this is done from left to right, not right to left. So counting from left to right, our first significant figure in this number is going to be 5. Then the 2nd significant figure is going to be 9. That is what we are interested in. So since the second significant figure is 9, we look at the number after 9. That is also 9. So what you do is that you are going to add 1 to 9. When you add 1 to 9, you are going to get 10. We have seen that when that happens, what you have to do is to carry the 1 forward and leave the 9 here as 0. So you carry the 1 forward, you add it to 5, you are going to get 6. Then the 9 that was in the position of the 2nd significant figure becomes 0, as we did for the decimal places. Let's look at another example. We are supposed to correct the number 0.000759964 to 4 significant figures. So you look for the 4th significant figure in this number. So here the 4th significant figure, you know that 7 will be our first significant figure, 5 will be our 2nd significant figure, 9 will be our 3rd significant figure, then the other 9 will also be our 4th significant figure. The number in front of that 9 is 6. It qualifies our criteria of 5 or above. So what we do is we add 1 to the 9. Now remember, when you add 1 to this 9, you are going to get 10. So when that happens, we have seen that when that happens, then we change this 9 as 0 and we bring the 1 here. Now when you can see that when you bring the 1 here, the number there is also 9. So when you add it to it, you are going to get another 10. So you also write the 0, then you send the 1 again. The number here is 5. So when you add the 1 to it, you are going to get 6. So you have 7. Then the numbers, the preceding numbers are going to come, then 0.0. So you can see from here that if you are correcting this to 4 significant figures, it's going to be 0.00076. Then the 2 zeros that represent the 9s will be there. So that will be it. Now we also have a way of doing this on the calculator. So I'm going to show you how to do this on your calculator. So you pick your calculators. If you want to use your calculator to find a number to a given significant figure, this is what you are going to do. You press on Shift, then you press on Mode. Remember that when we were doing for the decimal place, we said it was 6, which is the fifth. For significant figures, this is 7, which is the psi. so you choose that 7. It's going to ask you size 0 to 9. It's asking the number of significant figures you want to correct the number to. So in this case, let's say we are correcting it to 5 significant figures. Now let's do that for V, because V said we should correct the number 1 4 5 7 8 9 6 3 to 5 significant figures. So input that number, so 1 4 5 7 8 9 6 3, then press equal to. So you can see that when you correct 1 4 5 7 8 9 6 3 to 4 significant figures, you are going to get 1.4579 times 10 to the power 7, and that number will be 14579,000 as shown as we solved here. Let's try our hands on another one. Remember that our calculator is now in 5 significant figures mode. You want to change it to 2 significant figures, so you press shift, you go press mode, then you select 7, which is significant figures. It's asking us size 0 to 9. How many significant figures do you want? You want 2 significant figures. So let's try that for the question VI. VI is 0.0059987. Now when you press equal to, you see that we are having 6.0 times 10 to the power minus 3, and that is giving us 6.0060 as shown here as the one that we solved. So use your calculator and try your hands on the questions that you solve. You can see that the calculator is also giving us the answers as we solve them. Thank you so much for watching this video and all the other videos. This is the end of the topic approximations. Solve more examples on it. If you have any question you want to ask me, interact with me on Facebook at Math Center or on Instagram at mathcenter_shs. Bye bye.